It's time to power up! Today we're going to show you better ways to water your garden, we're going to get into the Ender Pearl game, and it's time to create our very first Geothermal Generator. Ahead on this episode of SkyFactory 4. Hello, Luke here, and welcome back to the world of SkyFactory 4. We once again have tons of stuff to get through today, so let's dispense with the pleasantries and get right to it. So today, we're going to start off by doing something that I meant to do a little while ago, and we're going to get ourselves into the Ender Pearl game. So, now in order to get hold of Ender Pearls, we are actually going to have to get some Endermen crafted through seeds. We can actually grow hostile mobs through a few seeds. But once we get the pearls off them, we're going to need to be able to craft them into their own form of seed, and we're actually going to grow Ender Pearls instead of just repeatedly farming them from mobs. Now, Ender Pearl or Ender Saplings, or whatever you want to call them, they actually require a different kind of soil to grow on, so we can't plant them in our regular garden. We actually need to get some endstone and put that there so we can actually plant those seeds on. So let's start there first. So we need to get ourselves some endstone. So as per usual, we'll pull up JEI, and we will see that under endstone, we can actually craft that in a few different ways, but one of them, I believe, is we can actually pour lava over glowstone. And glowstone we should have now that we've got our resource hogs and saplings going. So we can, no, not with the packager, we want to just make that the old-fashioned way. So we should have enough bits and pieces to make glowstone, I think. Glowstone acorns, glowstone resin, I'm sure we've got glowstone saplings going. So let's just have a really quick look at that. Could have sworn I had some. That's donut, that's cookie, that's gold. Maybe we don't have glowstone saplings. Maybe we are in fact missing that. Alright, well we can start there actually. So let's have a look at JEI again, and we'll work out what we need for a glowstone sapling, because it's going to help us on with our next bit. So, for glowstone saplings, we need mineral berries, which we have. We need quartz resin, which we now have. And we need blaze powder and redstone saplings. So that's pretty straightforward. We should be able to grab all of that. In fact, I am surprised. I would be surprised if we don't have all of that ready now. So let's go. Yep, we do. In fact, we've got everything there except for the blaze powder, which is super, super easy to do. Because once again, we just need to grab the crushing tub and some netherrack, and we can get that happening straight away. So netherrack, just grab that. Run up to the crushing tub and get ourselves some blaze powder. I must have used all of the last lot on our last project, but that's okay. So just dump a bit of this, nice and easy. And once we've got about 10 or so, oh, rogue little bit around the back. Okay, then we'll chuck that blaze powder back into our inventory, and then we should be able to get the glowstone sapling that we need. So there we go. In fact, I'll make 2 of them because we can get those growing straight away. So, oop, don't want to drop them. There we go. All right. Glowstone saplings. Let's go and chuck them down next to our quartz sapling. I think that probably makes sense. Okay, so while that's cultivating, we're going to get some glowstone out of that. Now, we've actually got a bit of time while we wait for that to happen, so why don't we work on a couple of the other saplings in the meantime. So we've also got to do, let's have a look back at our list. We've got osmium, arbite, cobalt, ardite I should say, cobalt and copper. Now the ardite and the cobalt actually require some slightly harder to get resources to create. So let's knock off the osmium and the copper saplings. I think that's probably quite achievable right now. So let's search for the recipes for those. Now let's go for copper first. That seems like it might be a little bit more straightforward. So copper. Must be a, there we go, brown colored one. Okay, so we need spruce saplings for that one, and we need some molten copper, and we pour it over on the melter. So in order to get some molten copper, we can create copper amber, and that's out of a bunch of different resins that we've got already, but we do need to get ourselves some red sand. Now, red sand is pretty straightforward. All we need for that is some red coloring and our cauldron full of water, and we can create some red dye and then just literally dye the sand. So pretty straightforward. We can run and do that now. So let's have a look. We've got, this thing's full of lava already, so is there anything that needs lava that we can fill up? Nope, not at the moment, so let's just, whoa! Let's not do that. All right, so as I was saying, let's grab a fresh bucket, not straying too close to the edge, and we'll fill that up with water, and we'll chuck water in our cauldron. All right, so now that we've got that, we just need to grab ourselves some red dye, of which, I don't know if I've got any. We might be running out of that, that rose stuff, so we can actually use beetroot. Beetroot's actually a good source of red dye as well. So if I just harvest a little bit of beetroot, we can actually convert that into red dye pretty easily. So there we go, rose red. And we just need one of those to turn our cauldron full of water into a cauldron full of red dye. And then we just need some sand, which we can grab from our inventory system. So let's grab, oh yeah, 3 blocks of sand will do. And if we chuck that in there, we'll get ourselves some red sand. Easy peasy. All right, I really need one more thing of sand just to get that last of it out there. So let's just create a block of sand quickly. We've got truffles, don't we? Yeah, we can just make one out of truffles. There we go. And lucky last. All right, 4 blocks of red sand. Pretty straightforward. That should give us the recipe now that we need to dye our materials for the copper amber. Where are we? Copper amber. There we go. We've got all that stuff. So now we've got a block of copper amber, which we can chuck into our melter. Let's just turn that off for now. Is that full of anything? No. All right, let's chuck our, whoop, not the red sand. We want the copper amber. Okay. We'll put our copper amber in there. We'll take our mold off the top, and then we just need to get some of our saplings. So I believe it was the spruce sapling. Yep, pretty straightforward. So we can grab that. Spruce sapling, we've got 2 in fact, so that's perfect. All right, we chuck our spruce sapling down on the table, and as soon as that's filled up with a bit of molten copper, we can pour that on the spruce sapling, and we will have our copper saplings. Rinse and repeat ×2. It gives us enough to fill up a couple of bonsai pots, and we are laughing. So there we go, and there we go. Okay, so while that last one's going, let's have a look at our 3rd recipe. So the other sapling that we want to create today is the osmium sapling. Now, osmium we need to pour over in the same manner, so we want to get ourselves a mineral sapling, which we've got plenty of, and we need some molten osmium. So again, we're going to need to create the amber for that. So osmium amber is created using nickel resin, quartz resin, copper resin, which we're going to need to get off the copper saplings in a moment, and iron resin. Okay, so we might have to come back to that after the copper saplings have done their thing, but that's okay. So where are we? We got that? Oh, what happened there? Oh, okay, copper saplings are done. Perfect. All right, let's go and plant those things, and we'll get the copper plants going and the resources out of them. We'll come back and finish that osmium one off. Wow, so fortunately that didn't take long at all for the copper bonsais to do their thing. So we've crafted the osmium amber that is well and truly melting in there. We've got our mineral saplings, and we're going to have this ready to go in just a moment. So mineral, and hopefully the glowstone saplings have been doing the same thing while we've been waiting. So once again, that should give us just enough for 2 trees, and let that kick through. Come on. Not that I'm impatient or anything. All right, and that'll be through into the box here. There is our osmium sapling. Fantastic. And pour out a second one. Okay, so while we're here, the next thing that we're going to need to do is to create that end stone. Now, we need to pour lava over glowstone. Now that we've got the glowstone saplings going, I'm hoping that we've got enough materials to actually craft a couple of blocks of glowstone. So we should have some acorns and some resin. So yep, saying we've got enough. So I'll grab, I'm going to grab maybe, we'll go 4 blocks of glowstone. We can repeat this a few times. So all you have to do is put the glowstone in that that casting basin that we sunk previously with the lava tub in front of it, and just pour that straight over. So as that actually pours over the glowstone, once it's finished pouring 1,000 millibuckets worth, you'll see that that glowstone will actually start to transform. And there we go. You can see it's actually changing before our eyes into endstone. Recipe endstone, liquid lava, 99. Yep, there we go, done. So that's our endstone, and we'll just repeat that a couple of times. So while that's going, we've got our osmium saplings. Now we'll go and plant those, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we need to do to get some Enderman Seeds. So over to here, osmium saplings. These can go right here, I think. we're looking pretty good. Like, as far as our saplings go, we've got 2 left, and that is a huge amount of our resource production accounted for. So that Ardite and Cobalt saplings, we can actually get some of the material for that in the Nether, but in order to mine it, we need to get some slightly better versions of the tools that we've got, which is a thing we'll cover in a later episode. We're going to have to start mucking around with the Tinker's Construct material. All right, so we'll leave that for now. In the meantime, now what we're going to do is we're going to craft some Enderman Seeds. We're going to set up like a little killing chamber so that we can actually get the Enderman to grow, and then we can harvest them for their Ender Pearls, but we don't want them running off everywhere. So fortunately, the Endermen are quite tall, so we can actually create like a little killing chamber for them. Actually, I'll give myself just a little bit more room, which means that they won't actually be able to run away. We'll make the roof where they land just tall enough for them to sort of sit inside, but not enough so that they can actually get out. So there we go, and there we go. All right, so if that's 3 high there, just make that slightly higher so that we can get this right. And bang. And all right, so that's high enough for the Enderman to spawn in, and we want them to be trapped in there. So if we actually spawn them there, they will be able to move into this space here, but not actually able to get out. And we might actually use this again in future. So I'm just going to insert some slabs on the edges just to give us a little bit more room as well. So what kind of slabs we've got available? Oh yeah, stone slabs, that'll be perfect. So if we use a few of those stone slabs and just make them, there we go, slightly lower, we can still get a sword under there. That's pretty much all we need. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's just make this slightly more decorative. Why not? Nothing has to be ugly. There we go. All right, cool. So now if we put Enderman Seeds in there, they won't be able to get out. That is pretty much perfect. So the question is, of course, how do we create those Enderman Seeds? So if we do a search for Ender, you'll see we've got a few seeds here, but these are the ones we want. So from Animal Crops, we've got the Enderman Seeds. Now, for this, we need purple dye, we need the end stone that we've been making, and we need blaze powder and a pumpkin. So we have pumpkins because I've been growing a few of these previously. So these are pretty much ready to go. We'll harvest a few pumpkins. There we go. I don't know how many seeds we're going to need, but they'll continue to grow. We have our blaze powder already. We might need a little bit more of that. We've got the end stone now. We've got the obsidian. We just need to create some purple dye. So purple dye is pretty straightforward. We just need to combine our red dye and our lapis. So there we go. Get some purple dye going. Actually, that should be plenty. Chuck that back into our inventory. And do we need anything else? I think we might have everything we need. Yeah, we do. So we've grabbed Enderman Seeds, and in order to get some more, we're going to need some more end stone. So I might just grab that now, so we can get some more end stone and get our next batch of glowstone going with the lava and fill that up while we're at it. Okay, one more batch of Enderman Seeds, because who knows how many we're going to need. Okay, so now we're ready to start growing Enderman. Now, you can actually use bone meal to get these things growing quicker, which is what we'll do in this case, I think. We won't need to mess around too much. So let's just grab some bone meal out of our inventory. So once again, search for bone. Plenty of bone meal. That's more than enough. Cool. And create some Endermen. So they grow up pretty quickly, as it turns out. There we go. And there's the Enderman. So whack this guy a few times. Hopefully he drops a pearl. Hopefully we don't have to repeat this too many times. And just like with the pig crops before, if we get lucky, fantastic. If we get lucky, we can actually get multiple Endermen out of one set of seeds, but it looks like we didn't this time, so let's grow another batch. So bone meal it up. There we go. And kill this little boy off. They certainly seem to have a lot of hearts, these Endermen. And there we go, and there we go. Hey, another pearl. Not too bad. All right, cool. So in order to actually craft the Enderman Seeds, we're going to need, sorry, the Ender Seeds, I should say, to actually make the Ender Pearls themselves. Let's have a look at that. So these are the ones we want here, the Ender Seeds. Now, I believe we need 4 pearls for these. Yes, we do. Okay, so we need 4 pearls and some regular seeds. And once we get one of them going, they'll actually create more pearls for us. So the whole process will be a lot easier to repeat. So over the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to go through this process again, get some more Endermen growing, kill them off, get some pearls. And when we've got 4 pearls, we'll come back and we'll get those Ender seeds going. Alrighty, sweet. So a bunch of lava and glowstone later, we've got probably enough endstone. Now we've got 9 blocks, and the last lot of mobs I got pretty lucky with and actually managed to get 9 pearls out of them, so that's pretty cool. In order to craft with those, let's just chuck them back into our inventory system, and actually that ingot cast can probably go back on the melter now, because we're going to need that again later. Put everything back where we found it. Alright, there we go. So time to create some ender seeds, but we'll set up the place where we're going to grow these first. So do we want to put these right next to that? We might just make a little plot of just 4 of these. I think that's probably enough for now. With the end stone. There we go. So if we chuck the end stone down, now the end stone, just like dirt, can actually be tilled. And if you till the end stone and place the end seeds on top of that, then that'll grow nicely for us. So now the cool thing with the end seeds as well is that they will just keep growing. So we don't actually need to replant them when we harvest them. The pearls will just keep coming straight out of them. So that is great. All right, let's look at the recipe now. So we want the ender seeds, and let's see how many of those we can get. 1, 2, just 2 because we had enough pearls for 2 lots. All right, we can plant a few more later. So there we go, 1, 2, and those should grow reasonably quickly. But look, let's actually talk about a way to speed up our crop growing now. And as it happens, this is actually one of our advancements. So under the age of farming, you can see we've actually got a yes we can advancement for crafting a tiny progressions watering can to increase crop growth speed. Now these ender seeds will actually grow better in low light, but they still should grow fine, especially on the tilled ender soil. But they're going to grow even quicker if we can get that watering can onto them. So let's just do a quick look for the watering can. Tiny progressions watering can. So there we go. Used to water things, waters a 3x3 area and shift and right click to activate. Recipe for that's pretty straightforward. Just requires some white bone meal or dye, a bucket full of water and some iron ingots. I think we've got all of that. There we go. Tiny progressions watering can. So following the instructions, if we hold shift and right click, there you go. You can see all the water sprouting around and look at the speed that those ender crops are growing now. They are firing up real fast. There we go, and one has actually given us pearls already. I think we got 2 pearls off that. There we go. That's fantastic. So these things will grow pearls super, super quick. And wow, look at how many we're getting. That's awesome. We could probably craft some more of those seeds now, actually. So let's just grab some more ender seeds. Where are they? Ender seeds. There we go. And we can do 1 more of those. We're probably going to need some more regular seeds to do more, which we can actually till now that we think about it. So there we go. That'll give us a bunch more seeds, and 1 more. 1 more. We can do 1 more. Yep. No, need more ender pearls. Okay. Well, we can wait for that. So not a big deal. 2 more pearls. That we'll get that in 2 seconds flat, I'm sure. So up you go, little crops. Up you go. Up you go. And here come the pearls. Yep. Oh, we even got ender seeds from that one, so we can save ourselves the trouble. So you occasionally do get seeds off them just like you do on some of the other crops. So that's fantastic. We now have ender pearls effectively on tap, which is great. So there we go. All right, so what else is on the list for today? We've got those saplings out of the way. We've got our ender stuff out of the way. We're going to start work on some power generation now. So a lot of the stuff that I want to experiment with over the coming episodes is going to require redstone flux power. So let's actually start thinking about how we can set up some simple power generation. Now, these platforms that I built earlier, we haven't actually put to use yet, but the one with the red border, I think that would be perfect for power generation. So let's have a look at that. Now, on our advancements tab, if we look at the age of power, there's actually a bunch of guidance here on what we can start with. So now what we are going to do is we're going to begin with the simple generators, and later on we're going to upgrade that to one of the upgradable ones, which we can actually modify further. And we can actually chuck sort of speed modifiers and things in that later too. But just this one for today, we're going to craft a simple generator. Now there are a bunch of different simple generators available. So if we have a look in JEI towards what the options are, let's have a look at, actually I'll do a search for simple. So at simple, and that'll give us a list. All right, so here we go. We've got simple combustion generators, which require regular fuel. We've got culinary generators, which actually burn on food. We have ender generators, which burn on ender products. We've got nether generators, you get the idea. Soul generators, we're certainly not there yet. And the one we're going to do today is we're going to use a geothermal generator because this runs on lava. And getting an infinite lava supply is definitely within our reach at the moment. That's actually not too tough to do. So we've got the simple version and we've got the upgradable version. Let's start with the simple one. So the simple one actually requires a furnace, some magma blocks, some stone, and a cauldron, and some redstone. So that's pretty cool. Now, we're also going to have to set up the lava supply that's going to be going into the generators. So I'm going to do that in a similar manner to what we did before with regards to the cauldrons, but I actually want to set them up to have the cobblestone feeding into them automatically, so we don't have to keep running over to it and filling it up with cobblestone ourselves. I'm going to automate the entire process. And instead of sitting it on a open space with a torch underneath to provide heat to the cauldron, I'm actually going to use these, which are the next best thing, I believe, which are magma blocks. We can actually create those using magma cream. So I think we've got a bit of magma cream already, so we can craft, I'm going to make 4 of these, I think. So we're going to need to make some more magma cream, though. Magma cream. Yep, we can create a whole bunch of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we're going to need a heap, so let's just make 24. Let's make 30. Okay. 30 can go back into our inventory, and let's grab ourselves some more magma blocks. Yep, that should be fine. So with a stack of magma blocks, let's work out where we actually want to put these cauldrons. So I think I'm gonna keep them in the stone area, just because I don't think they set the wood on fire, but I don't want to take any chances. Actually, let's just test that. It's probably a good thing to know. Is that gonna? No, actually, it's not setting the wood on fire. Okay, well that's good to know. All right, well, let's chuck the magma blocks in here, and we're going to stick some cauldrons directly on top of those, so the magma blocks will provide heat. And I think this time around, instead of using the stone cauldrons, because I actually want to see what's going on, I can actually create some different variants which are made of glass. So there we go, glass cauldron. They'll do effectively the same thing, but they'll just be much better when it comes to controlling what's going on. So now crafting some glass. I actually do have glass resource hogs going, so I might not need to smelt glass. We might actually be able to just craft it using the truffles. So regular glass we can make using truffles. Do we have enough truffles though? That's the question. We've got 2, so whoop, truffles. Well, type in the box would help. Truffles. Do we have glass truffles? I'm sure we do. Soul sand bone glass. There we go. We got heaps of those actually. So let's just make a stack of glass. That's going to come in handy a little bit later. So there we go. Beautiful. And create ourselves some glass cauldrons. I think 4 of these will be enough for now. So let's just make those. And, well, made 8 of them. Okay, cool. 8 cauldrons it is, no problem. Chuck those immediately over the magma. Okay, so as per normal, if we feed cobblestone into those, we'll actually get that creating lava for us straight away. I don't want to feed cobblestone in manually though, so what we're going to do is craft a couple of droppers. So, actually I think we've got some droppers already left over from a previous project, so let's grab those. And now moving the droppers around so that they're facing the right direction, as in facing downwards, is going to be part of the trick for this as well. So there is a tool we can craft to help us with that called a Crescent Hammer, so which is effectively a wrench. Crescent Hammer requires iron ingots and tin ingots. I think we did some tin previously, so yep, there we go. We will make a Crescent Hammer, easy peasy. So now if we grab those droppers and we put them on top of the cauldrons, we should now be able to use the Crescent Hammer to change the side of those. Oh, there we go. Okay, so is that pointing downwards? Yes, it is. Great. Is that pointing downwards? Yes, it is. All right. Fantastic. That's exactly how we want it to go. So put down a couple more of those, and hopefully that'll work for us first time again. Yep. All right, fantastic. That is pointing downwards. That is perfect. All right. So now if we fill those with cobblestone, and we can actually just do a test of that by grabbing some out of our inventory system. So let's grab some cobble. Oh, I already had some on me. There we go. chuck some cobble there. We should be able to feed these with cobble, and once they've got a redstone signal running through them, they'll actually feed that down into the cauldron. So we just need something to activate that. So I think, given that we've got a couple on the diagonal there, a clicker would be a good thing to use. The good old redstone clock that we used over on the melter before. So let's craft a couple of those. So redstone clocks. That's the one we want. So we want to craft ourselves a couple of those. Unless we've actually got some in our inventory, we might do. Did we make any extras? No, we did not. Okay. That's okay. We'll craft a couple of new ones. So we want some repeaters. So let's craft ourselves a few of those. And then we should have everything we need for a clock. Redstone clock. Get rid of that. Come on. Where is the clock recipe? Clock. Redstone clock. I just made repeaters, so where are they? There we go. All right, so we want maybe just 2 redstone clocks. That should be enough for now, because we can just put them in the diagonal. There we go. And there we go. So we can reduce these right down. We don't need them ticking with a 60 duration, so we can just make that maybe 5. Yep, and 60. We'll probably make that down to 5 as well. And that should, provided there's cobblestone in there, that should actually start dropping it into there for us. So go down to 5 and down to 5. Okay. Now is that actually working? We've got that up the wrong way. I think we've actually got that up the wrong way. Let's turn that around. There we go. Alright, that's facing the right way now. So we've got that feeding into the cauldron. Fantastic. We actually needed that side up. Right. Is that right? It's facing the right way now. Alright, cool. We'll just test that one out. Whoops. Turning around too many times. Facing the right way? Please tell me it's facing the right way. Alright. Grab some cobblestone and feed it into there just to test it out. Yep, that's going down into the cauldron. Fantastic. And that might even be ticking too often, so we'll probably increase the delay to 20 for now. We don't need firing that much cobblestone into there. Alright, just test that out. No, it's firing up top, so let's turn that around. And yep, that's going down to where we want it now. So let's grab the cobblestone and just test that one again. Fantastic. Alright, so that is now creating lava for us. Brilliant. Okay, so now we just need a way to keep feeding cobblestone into these cauldrons. And I might actually just turn those off while we're working, because we don't want them to continue clicking like that. So, yeah, alright. So, we don't want to have a surplus of cobblestone sort of trashing itself into those cauldrons. And we want to find a way to feed cobblestone into it continuously. So, we're going to have to craft ourselves a couple of extra cobblestone generators. So, same ones we did before. We know the recipe, and as we upgrade our power source, throughout the game and need more and more power running through it, we can actually upgrade the cobblestone generators that are feeding cobblestone into those cauldrons as well. So here we go, a cobblestone generator, just the simple one. We should have most of the resources for that. We need water and lava and buckets. That's something we need to grab. It's just not there. Why is that not there? Let's get rid of that recipe. Back in there. We might have an inventory problem. Our inventory might actually be filling up. Let's do a quick troubleshooting trip, because this could prove useful if we learn something out of it. So, we have our chest. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, we've got a bunch of stuff filling up here. And of course, it's because the saplings that we most recently created, the glowstone saplings and the copper saplings and the osmium saplings, we haven't actually created the folders in the filing cabinets for those yet. So all the resources from those saplings are just going to basically chunk up our storage chest. So I'll quickly get the folders done, fix up our blockage, and we'll be right back to do the rest. Alright, I think we've got that storage blockage sorted out now. So I've crafted a couple of cobblestone generators. We can put these down, and they are going to be able to feed cobblestone into these droppers once we connect up some item piping. So let's just use the same stuff that we've used previously, and we're going to need some of those extraction cables. We're going to need some of those item cables. So extraction cable, let's put one on each of those. and then we want the item cables to feed into those. So there we go, there we go. I think we can go that way, and there we go, that way. And we'll feed that round behind. I think probably just keep it out of the way. There we go. No. Let's get ourselves a bit more room. All right, fantastic. There we go. And that should now be feeding cobble directly into those droppers. So is that doing that? Is that working? Is that working? I actually can't tell. 9:41. Oh, is it filling that one up first? I think it might be filling that one up first. Maybe not. Is that actually working? Oh, okay. Transfer rate. We, of course, need to increase that a little bit. 45. No. Is that ticking up? Yeah, it is going up. Okay, cool. So it is doing what we want it to do. It's just taking a little bit longer than I otherwise would have anticipated. Of course, we can increase the speed of that by chucking in some stuff later. But they're only the basic cobblestone generators. We can actually upgrade those to the tier 2s. That might be worth looking at, actually. Let's just check out the recipe for the tier 2 cobblestone generators. So we've got tier 2, just surround it with iron. Okay, yeah, we can totally do that. I think we might do that, actually, because we want these operating just a little bit quicker. And when we actually come to generating even more power later on, then that's going to come in super handy. So let's grab some of our iron. Yep, heaps of that. And let's just get these two upgraded now. Bang, bang. And that can go back in there. All right, fantastic. And there we go. Tier 2 cobblestone generators. That should be operating a little bit quicker now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. Good, good, good. That suits our needs perfectly. So, all right, we've got a constant source of lava going into those cauldrons now. What we need to do is to create the actual power generator. So let's do a search for generator again. And this is the one we want. We want the simple geothermal generator. So we need a cauldron, we need some stone, we need redstone block. I think we've got most of that. We might just need to create the cauldron. So chuck that in there. And what are we missing? We're just missing the furnace. So crafting, that's pretty much a piece of cake as well. And there we go. There is the simple geothermal generator. Fantastic. So if we plug this dude down here, and we now have the advancement generator. I hardly knew her. Very cool. Now this one actually requires lava in the fluid tank here, and then it will produce redstone flux power on the other side there. And there's a couple of upgrades we can put in. But we need to connect the lava up to the generator in order to power that properly. So for that, instead of the item cables, we actually need to make some fluid cables. So something a little bit different. So let's do a search for cable, and we should find the fluid ones. Here we go, fluid cables. And we will need some fluid extraction cables as well. So fluid cables are made pretty easily using brick stairs and gold nuggets. So we should have all the material for that. And the other ones require droppers and gold nuggets. So I think we need to make some more gold nuggets, which we're going to need for both. So that's pretty easy. I think we should be able to make a stack of gold nuggets. There we go. And we also need those brick stairs. So we're going to need to actually make some bricks. We're going to need to get some clay, and we're going to need to make some bricks. But we can make the extraction cables at the very least. So I can show you how this works. So droppers, we did have a bunch of droppers already. So we just need to create some weighted pressure plates. So chuck a few of those in there, and that should give us everything we need, I think. Yeah, there we go. Couple of fluid extraction cables. So if I was to put one fluid extraction cable on here and actually move the generator to sit in front of it, you'll see exactly how this works. So there we go. So that cable going straight into the generator, there we go. It's actually filling up with lava, and you can see it's generating redstone flux power. And then we can actually craft a power node, a wireless power transfer node, which will sit on top of that, and then we can send power using the GPS system to any devices that we need across our entire base. So pretty straightforward. And ideally, I think we're going to want to create a bunch of these power generators, but we're also going to want to keep these these redstone clocks on to start filling up those cauldrons again, because that's going to continually want to be sending lava through to that. So yeah, that's going to be a constant flow, sort of heading in there. And now that we've got that pretty much automated, we have a continual source of power for the use of our other devices later on. Fantastic. So I'm going to wire this up in the meantime with a little bit of redstone to get these droppers working on a slightly better sort of setting. But otherwise, that's the power generator, that's the lava source, that's how we get our power going, and that's it for this episode. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you've gotten a lot out of that. We'll be back again with more next time, probably using some of the power that we've just created. But until then, my name's Luke. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and check out the rest of our content over at the main hub at channelendgame.com. That's all for me until next episode. So thanks very much for watching. Enjoy, and we'll see you then. Bye.